Hello, I'm back again. I'm restless. I feel like I'm really restless right now, and I am back outside, and it's really, really sunny right now, and it's really blue. Like the sky is really blue today, and it's cold as well. So I'm pretty sure I won't get like vitamin D3. It's already like 4:30 or something. So vitamin D probably won't be around much. But it's better than nothing, I guess. I know like I probably shouldn't be talking to the camera every single day, but I can't help it. I feel like I need to do something every single day. I'm supposedly taking a break from vlogging, but I am still recording. I'm just not vlogging. I suppose I'm talking a lot. Um, I want to say, I don't know what I want to say. Today I was like looking for alternative for stickers to sell online because Redbubble is just basically robbing me blind. I saw my earnings and my earnings was like uh, probably like $200 last month or something, but I only had like $16 as earning, which is really weird. And recently I live near the airport, so there will be like a lot of planes coming and going. And like recently, I had like a sale, and the sale revenue is around $60, and I'm supposed to have like a huge chunk of that $60 because that's my markup prices. Like they're not buying one for $60. Like they're buying a bunch of stuff, and the total amount is $60. And I was supposed to get like a lot of the quote out for it because that's my markup. But I'm only gonna get like $5 out of that $60. I'm not sure why Redbubble is doing this. Probably like they are approaching bankruptcy. Probably the problem is in Australia. Redbubble is a public company, meaning like it's a ASX listed company, so they have shareholders basically. So that's probably why they're scrambling, like trying to make a lot of money, and they can't make it from the revenue, so they have to make it from the artists. So I don't know, but it's definitely a problem, and now I have to look for a solution for this problem. The problem is I don't know how to, because all the sites are basically like the industry is disappearing, and each regions, for example America, Australia, Europe, have different roles. And especially now America, back with the Trump administration, they have like tariffs and stuff, so you need to have like productions that is created in America if you want to get any kind of margins whatsoever. Like it's very different compared to about 5 years ago, where everything can be made like outside from the country and be shipped all over the world and don't really have a lot of restrictions. I see a lot of restrictions started to happen after like 2021. Um, you know, tariffs started to popping up, and I know from then like you need to have like a local production companies if you want to have business in each countries, and I think that applies to Australia too. So like even like if you are just selling stuff as a middleman, for example, like most businesses, that's what they do. Like we export or import stuff, so you basically resource your products outside, like in China, for example, if you have enough capital. I don't. And then you export them from China to, I don't know, to America, Australia, and then because like the markup will be really high, mainly because you are taking responsibility and risk for the purchase, for example, and also for the export, which is a transport, and those two will be very expensive. And you also taking the risk of like for all these products and inventories not selling, then you'll be stuck with them. So that is a very proper game of business, in my opinion. In my head, that's like proper business because you have a lot of risk happening, and that's why the word organization is an organization, is because you have to organize everything, value chain, and all of that. And my model hasn't been about that. My model always been about me just uploading my design or a quote or art or whatever it is. You know what? I really want to have a lazy Susan type of, a lounge, a sound lounge for balcony. It'd be great because like lounging outside in the shades and lounging inside with a closed door is very different. The feelings, like outside, it feels like you are one with Earth somehow, like because you're connected with the air. I know I'm starting to show symptoms of delirium. I feel like I shouldn't be um, exposing myself to the sun because of my hyperpigmentation, but I need the sun. I think it's probably better for sleeping and other stuff because, like, your cholesterol is supposedly activated only if it touches, uh, being touched by UVB, which is like a specific ultraviolet radiation, only comes from the sun exposure, so you won't get it if you take like vitamin D3 supplements only. And because like the natural reaction is, am I boring? Like this is my monotone speech pattern, like my natural monotone when I'm not anxious. This is this is the tone. Am I like really playing up with my autistic stereotypes? Like, if you want to use this for sleeping, you probably can, because my tone won't go up and down. It won't show any emotions. Um, Basically, what happens is the cholesterol under your skin will be converted to D3. That's the short stories, and I'm pretty sure there's are a lot of other videos out there that can explain it a lot much better and much more comprehensively. But that's what basically, in short, happens when you are exposed to UVB. It's like the cholesterol underneath your skin turns into vitamin D3. It's a hormone. It affects everything. It's basically an organic steroid. I'm gonna put asterisks there. You can do your own research. Please do your own research, asterisks. Uh, so yeah, so which is probably why if you have a lot of pain or autoimmune condition, you should increase your vitamin D3 either through being exposed to the sun or increasing your supplements. But there are a lot of things that supplements can't do that the sun can. And I think you can't replace the sun, unfortunately. I'm finding like talking on the balcony like this is actually very helpful to me because I need an excuse to be inhaling fresh air out here. I can't just sit down and not do anything for a whole like hour. So this is a good excuse talking to you guys and whoever it is that wants to listen. Because I'm trying not to promote it as much because I'm just going to put like a bleep here and there in the main channel and say, hey, there is this channel. And this is where all the talking vlogs are going to be, like only purely talking vlogs. Like the vlogs next year, I'm considering I'm going to have like a mix of talking and just silent vlogs, but not much talking, but maybe like a good segment of like 5 or 10 minutes. So at least that would, I think that would push the vlog length to about half an hour minimum. So I think that's okay. Um, because I think like to push the vlog um period to 40 minutes is really hard. I try it so much and it's really hard to push it to 40 minutes. Like there's just not enough things going on in my life to push it to 40 minutes. And I'm not, my life is not that interesting, so I don't know what to do with it and stuff. To be honest, I never really wanted to be in front of the camera. I wanted to be like a camera person, like vlogging other people's life is probably a lot more interesting. And I can make commentary that way, so that probably would be a lot more interesting. But I don't think it's polite to show camera to other people's faces and stuff. Um, so yeah, so I'm using myself, I guess, as a guinea pig for this. I'm not sure what's happening to me. I'm slowly like, I feel like this is probably not accurate, but I'm just gonna say it. I feel like I am slowly waking up from like a 13-year slumber or maybe a 14-year slumber. Like that was the last time I was working, so that was the last time I was always constantly surrounded by other people in terms of work every single day. And you know, there are still people at home, there are still people at work, so I was never alone in a sense. And then you know, after October, no, after like 2012, like you know, my mom died, and that kind of just set off a whole chain of reaction that got me here. I feel like I'm slowly coming out of that period, maybe, but I can be wrong. Like this can be just a blip, and then I would just not think that I am coming out of like a veil, like you know. But it just feels like that. It feels like, oh, where did the past 13 years gone? Where did it go? Like I feel like, oh, I'm 41 now. Like what did I do with my life? And I am starting to see myself from that lens of normalcy. I don't know, I'm using a lot of air quotes in this video, but like normalcy, like like a sane person, sane person. I'm like looking at my life right now from a point of view of a sane person, which is untrue. Like there's no such thing as sane or insane and stuff. Like you know, when you're traumatized, you just have to survive basically. So I don't know. Maybe it's my nervous system slowly healing, so that it doesn't feel like I'm traumatized anymore. No, because I still have a lot of traumatized episodes lately, even. So that's not true. So I don't know what's happening. I just feel like I'm judging myself from my 28-year-old self. There's a lot of it. Um, and I'm seeing a lot of TikTok videos about you know this 20-year-old or 30-year-old people, women basically, that are very accomplished and very, looks like from the videos anyway, very good at what they do, know what they're doing, knows how to accomplish things, knows how to build a brand, knows how to put things together, knows how to build businesses. And I feel very inferior compared to them. I feel like, oh, I don't have enough experiences. I don't know how to do all of those things. So I feel like not only left behind, but like so out of touch with reality. I do feel a little bit like a boomer now, like a 70-year-old boomer. I feel like that's what has happened in the past few in the past decade, not few decades, this past decade, I feel like I have, because I decided to detach myself from the world moved so fast and no one really cares about my problem. And that's the way it is. And I'm not saying that you should care about my problem. I'm just saying that no one cares. And I guess, like, no, if I were to be asked to care about someone else's problems, I probably wouldn't as well. So there's that too. I haven't seen the puppy in the my neighbor balcony. I think someone said, like another neighbor said, that the dog's human has like probably would give birth soon. So probably they have given birth. So I don't know where I am at the moment in life, because I really thought I was going to uh, not live right now. I really thought that I would have gone back to my creator, to be honest, gone back to heaven. I was willing to risk everything. I was willing to just, if I didn't succeed, if I didn't become successful, if I didn't make any money, I was willing to just let go of everything and to, just go back to the place where we came from before we were birthed here. And not in a sense of trying to gain attention, not to in order to that, but more like exhaustion, like in all areas, emotional, spiritual, mentally, and everything. It just feels like I have a lot of things in the world that I have not yet experienced. Like, I haven't experienced what it feels like to be loved unconditionally. Um, I haven't experienced what it feels like to be really, really rich. Um, I haven't really experienced what it's like to be 100% supported. So, but at the same time, I feel like, when you're 41, you feel, oh, I don't think these things are going to happen. So, the things that I kind of wanted to experience, I did. Like, I went to Europe. That was kind of like a big thing for me when I was in my 20s. I felt like I really wanted to, uh, you know, visit there. I did after my mom passed away. I quit my job and I went to Europe for like 3 weeks and then another 3 weeks. Um, I was never big in like getting married or having kids, because I felt like I don't have money, so I don't wanna, um, bring people in for suffering. But I'm not sure why I'm crying. Again, I'm telling you, lately, like I've been crying a lot. Maybe it's hormones, because I'm 41, so I'm perimenopausal, and also I just finished my period, so the residual hormones are probably there. So it's not serious, guys. So don't take it personally or don't take it seriously. It's not like it's a crisis or distress. Definitely not. It's actually really weird that I'm not in distress right now, to be honest. It's weird because I know, like, right now, my financial condition, especially, is like twice worse than last year. But last year, I was twice stressed and was in like visibly distressed to the point where it was just unbearable. And yet now it's like my financial conditions is worse, my living condition is worse, everything is worse. Except my emotional state. It's only worse when I get triggered in a trauma episode and then it loops. But once I'm out of it, it doesn't stay as long. So I have moments like this now, which I didn't before, which is where I just feel like, oh, okay, there's nothing going on. So I'm not really sad. I'm not really depressed. I'm not, I'm not manic either. I'm not like, going to the other side. I'm just neutral. And I have a full awareness. Like at any time a trigger can happen and I can go into a full freeze mode and a full trauma mode. So I know like that's possible, and I know it can happen at any time, at any moment. So I know I'm not healed yet. I'm not fully healed yet, but there are still pockets of moments in everyday life where I just feel like I am a lot more relaxed, which was never possible last year or the year previously or decades previously to that. Um, I still have anhedonia. Isn't that how you pronounce it? Anhedonia, which is like it's like a low grade depression where you don't feel happiness, but you're not really like depressed and like into that acute and that distress place where it's extremely bad. You're still like this. Like I can still talk. I can still go to the grocery store. I can still that and do all of that. But you're not experiencing joy. You're not experiencing happiness. I don't even know what happiness is, to be honest. Like in the past month, I learned and I'm trying to retain the memory in my body, this feeling of satisfaction from sleep. I had this one day after like not sleeping for 2 days, 48 hours, not sleeping at all. Then I slept the next day after not sleeping for 48 hours. And I slept for 8 hours, no dreams whatsoever. And when I woke up for the first time, maybe in 40 years or in 30 years, I felt restorative sleep one morning, one day. And it was really memorable because it almost never happened. It happened once, probably that was probably the only time where it happens in my whole adult life that I can remember, which is, I don't know whether it's sad or anything, but I felt, oh my God, this is how it feels when you have a satisfactory sleep, when you have a sleep that is restorative, meaning like it's healing, like that sleep serves the purpose of healing your body. And I think this is how most people are able to have a very stressful life, is because the quality of their sleep is still good. When they sleep, they actually restore themselves, rejuvenate themselves. And I don't, and it hasn't happened again ever since. So it only happens like that one time, maybe in over decades now. So now I'm starting to kind of want to chase it. I want to chase that feeling of, having a satisfaction when you're waking up, as if that you have completed a recharge moment in your sleep, like you're actually properly recharging, like your battery is not leaking, it's fully charged. Because I haven't had that yet afterwards. It only happened that one time. And even that one time was like being created because I had like 48 hours not sleeping at all previous to that moment. So it was like an extreme case for it to be created to happen. I'm feeling I don't know what to do now. I feel like if I were to go back to work, I don't know if I can cope, because yesterday, as I said in the last video, I went out for like an hour and I was extremely overwhelmed, and it gave me a headache, an earache, a throat ache. And I'm like, oh no, what would happen if I'm surrounded by people and environment? Just like if in an office environment, pretty sure you will have like a fluorescent light coming down at you, as if you are in the makeup artist chair, like blaring at you, right? Like it's not soothing, it's not dark, it's not comforting for the nervous system. it's there for you to like to have like that alertness constantly, so you're always going to be at edge, so you're always even sharp. Even imagining it, it makes me feel like so tense. So now I'm thinking I really need to come up with an idea to make money again, and yet my brain feels like the fogginess and the heaviness don't want to lift. And when I try to learn something new, my brain just resisted so much. And I feel like I spent all the things that I could spend in trying to make a new life for myself. And I failed, and that's okay. Like, there's a lot of things, like, it's not okay, but it's like that's just how it goes in life. You know, you try things and then it doesn't work out. I feel like I don't have the resilience of the younger women. Like, I feel like they're so well. I guess like I'm biased because the women that I'm talking about is the women that I see on TikTok videos, and they are seeing like it's edited, right? All the videos are edited and it's narrated by them, so I don't really know what's going on in their private life, in real life, actually. But it just seems like they're really good at like managing themselves, like going from one job to another job and having that resilience and that brain still working for them, which is great. Like, that's what you want from the younger generation. But as someone who never found their place in society, trying to get back to society feels like a very weird happening almost. It's like, am I really going back to some to a place that I never actually been accepted to? How is that possible? And I like, not now, but maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, I have this like really foggy experience of I really should like there is this feeling like in my head. I know it's like feeling is in the body, but no, it's like you know when it's foggy and you can't see anything, but there is like an instinct almost. It's as if that I feel like money is just in front of me and I can grasp it, but I can't grasp it because I can't see it. And but there is some like instinct or like knowing in the back of my head that basically says it's supposedly easy. It's easy. Like the answer is just right there and it's supposedly easy to get. Like it's pretty simple to do for me, mean like so. But there is like this thing in front of me that makes me like not being able to see it clearly, not being able to know what it is. But the impression is that it's there is this solution that is in front of me that will make like my earning really easy to come by and be able to support myself, and it's supposedly easy and simple for me to do. I'm not saying like it's simple and easy for everyone to do, but for me specifically, because like you know some people probably can't talk on in front of the camera for this long and ramble and being judged for like their skins, and like being judged for being ugly or being judged for being a loser, you know, stuff like that. Like, you know, um, I understand, like, you know, when I go to interviews, for example, talk to people that is potentially going to give me money, I get really, really like anxious and really scared because I feel like I'm not good enough. I feel like I am. I don't have that issue, so like with this, I don't know why it's different. Um, because I think this is like post paid. Like if you like it, then my video will get views, so I get paid. Like I only get paid if I can make someone feels good about themselves, or like if I get attention. So the only time I get result if I do my job properly. So in that sense, I guess I'm not really that scared. But when employment is very different, it's like they're taking risk from hiring you, and you want to do a good job, but if you don't do a good job, you still get paid, which is probably very comforting to a lot of people, but to me it feels like, oh, like in business, it's like if my sticker, for example, if I sell stickers on Etsy, if it's like damage, then the other person would have to come to me and say, hey, this is damage, I want either refund or replacement. Then I can do that, and they're happy about it. It's different, it's very direct. But employment, like the product is you, it's very, I don't know, my mind is not really great for employment purposes. For example, I don't know how to manage that. The best thing probably for me is I want to have like an overpaid easy job, meaning like my job is so easy and I know I'm being overpaid and I'm okay with it. I want to have that kind of job where it's so easy for me to do, but it's just so overpaid that that would be the best, because it means like I have the skill to deliver something that most people can't do. That's what it means, because it's just because it feels like it's overpaid for me doesn't mean that it's actually being overpaid. um so yeah, that probably would be ideal, but I don't know, I don't think it will happen to me, because I don't know, I think it just happens to people who are white men. I remember like a decade ago or like 2 decades ago, this lady that I used to work with, she's very rich. I think she's like a rich Thai royal or something of the branch somewhere there. Um, I remember like she has one kid, and I back then like the kid was probably like only 4 years old, 5 years old, and then I remember like just jokingly talking about, oh, when they get older, about marriage and stuff. And I remember saying, oh, if she gets married to a rich person, she probably needs to get a prenup. And the colleague was basically saying, yeah, she definitely needs to get a prenup, because the husband is not going to get any of her assets. So back then, even that, like that's how I knew she was rich, like very rich. Like it's just very, if her 5 year old would still, if her 5 year old needs protection even from a young age, then that means like they already have assets established. And her daughter basically went to a French school in Sydney. So that's probably another sign of money having around. What is the point of me sharing this particular? Oh, okay. Her husband back then was also in this seminar that we I went to. Like they broke up and they got divorced, blah blah blah. Like I met her again like a few years back, and that was the update. I felt like I was scaring her because she was like trembling when she saw me, which was, I'm not sure why. But anyway, and her husband back, like her then husband, not her now husband. I don't know if he has a husband. She has a husband, but like her then husband was basically like sharing how he recently just got a job, and he didn't know what to do in his job. It's just like his mate basically just called up, and it was like, I think Telstra, which is like one of the biggest telecommunication company in Australia, and I think he got an executive. So this was like decades ago. Okay, so I don't even know his name and stuff. And he just got it from his mate. His mate just like, hey man, I need help, and then he just showed up and rocked up and got the job. And he was like saying in the lunch that we had, like, I don't even know what I need to do. So he basically probably got like a 200, 300K job without searching, without knowing what it is, without actually knowing how to do the job. And I feel like those kind of things happen to men, to white men, because of the network, basically. And I don't have any network. I don't have parents. I don't have anything. I don't even have like enough work experiences for me to establish myself footing wise. And I don't know what I'm doing in Sydney, Australia. It's so empty right now, meaning like I don't have any meaning to this place anymore. Like I used to be able to feel good when I went to like Bondi Beach and stuff because I used to live around there for about 8 years when I was a teenager and to my early 20s. But that doesn't feel like anything anymore. It doesn't feel like home anymore. It just felt like a tourist place, which it is. It just feel like very different. It doesn't feel like home. And my dark, so I don't really know how to approach life because that area used to be really makes me feel good, especially when I'm near the water, especially when I am, nearing the area. But now, like I went to I think sculpture by the beach by the sea last year. I think so. I think there's a vlog there, and it wasn't really satisfying or it didn't do anything for me. It was just tiring. It was just boring. It just doesn't mean anything. It was things. Life just doesn't have any meaning whatsoever nowadays. I think when I still believed that I could make it, it probably had some meaning. Like when you want to achieve things, when you want to get out from a really horrible situation, which I'm still in. The problem is I no longer believe that I could get out of it per se. I probably will. Like something probably just works itself out. I don't know. I probably finally figured out what it is between me and that solution that I was talking about just now. And suddenly I see clearly and I execute, and then money started coming like, and then all my financial issues will be gone. That probably can happen. Um, it's still a possibility out there. Uh, and my health probably could just disappear for the most part, the health issues. Maybe because I've been sitting in the under the sun for a little bit routinely almost every day, and that helps my immune system somehow by accident. Like there's a lot of things that can happen and go my way and come my way. So I'm not saying that it doesn't have any possibility for it to happen. I'm just saying that my mental state just says that I don't want to give false hope for myself for it to happen because it's so devastating for to believe something and for it not to happen. It just feels very cruel to myself, and I feel like I'm always going to need to protect myself a lot. And for someone that is one of the trauma response is fawning, which means like it's like you're trying to please people who abuse you or who is harassing you, like you're trying to please them so that you can get yourself out of danger. That's huge, that's pretty huge. I think to protect myself and not to um, please people by saying, oh, of course it will work out, and then actually just suffer in silence instead. Just not good. The sun is it's going down. The sun is still out, like it's still like quite high in the sky. It's like it's still this degree, so it's like it's still like about what 40 degrees up in the sky. So it's not that low in the sky yet because it's not really late in the day. It's maybe 5 o'clock and we are heading towards summer now, so in November. So We have daylight saving is on as well, so it will be light until 7 p.m. I think. So we're still like very light in the day. I still have battle with pigeons. Like when there's pigeons, because they poop. I don't want them to poop, but I don't have a spray with me. I'm exposing my belly to some sun. Probably good. Probably actually really need to expose belly. You know how like newborn babies, like not in America, not in Western countries, but usually outside, like outside anywhere except for the Western countries, is like they are being exposed to vitamin D, like being exposed to the sun, like morning sun, not like noon sun, like gentle sun. And they usually like they bet that like usually you have to be naked or like barely naked. And so in one of those countries, um, the naked part is their bum. So like there is like a series of newborn babies with their bums up towards the sun. It's so cute. It helps with jaundice because a lot of Asian babies have jaundice usually when they just born. So it is advisable for them to be sunbathe in the morning sun. And you see this across Asia, like usually at around 10 a.m., 8 a.m. There's a lot of like babies being carried and then under the sun. You can't do it during like the day because it's just too strong, especially not in Australia. Like maybe in Melbourne, or like from Melbourne down south to Tasmania, maybe you can. So that's where I am at now. I was basically just spending my time today trying to figure out how to make money so that Redbubble doesn't rob me silly. So I was trying to find a new platform, but I think the industry of print on demand is dying. Like not a lot of people are getting into it again, and not a lot of new companies are popping up. Even the ones that are in it are barely surviving, so everything is being pulled out. So either you have to print your stickers by yourself and then sell it yourself. That's a huge um, endeavor because it just takes a lot of friction when you just upload your design online and then the company takes care of everything. But I do need to come up with a new way to make money because I feel like employment will be very hard on me. But at the same time, I'm not making any money out here. So I need to figure out a way to make money and maintain my health, basically. And the money can't be just like spending pocket money. It has to be money that can pay the rent, can save for future retirement, can pay for accountant to file my tax every year, pay for medication and supplements, adult money basically. But I also know like I have a very troublesome relationship with money and my nervous system, and I don't know whether it's still not healed, and I don't know how to heal it properly unless I'm exposed to it. I have been thinking of like last month when I was rejected from the interview process. of like it was a call center for a bank. And for some reason, after I came back from that interview, I have this thought again, which I haven't had in a long time, which was, oh, maybe I should open a consulting business again, which was my intention when I first quit from my job at 2012, which was to open a life coach consulting business, which maybe not a life coach, maybe more like a life consulting, like intuitive consulting. Like, so it combines more practical consulting about life and everything. Um, and by using my intuition and by using intuitive skills as well. And I would like to approach it from a consulting point of view rather than from a coaching point of view. A coaching point of view usually involves you getting the client itself to arrive into the results or to the answer themselves. Like the motor is basically like the client has the answer inside of them. They already know what the answer is, which is true. But consulting is a lot more about me offering my own advice and my thinking and my expertise and whatever it is, my intuition. So it's a lot more about getting my input into their problems. And I guess I feel like consulting is a lot safer because you are basically paying for something. And I feel like if you are paying for something, it's better if you are getting a different perspective and you are getting it in chunk rather than trying to get it out of you. Like, you can get a life coach for yourself, or you can use chat gpt these days, so it's not that hard. Like, chat gpt can be used for that. But consulting just means like I am contributing to you my unique perspective about your issues, and that would be my unique selling point. I think it'll be good to combine that. The problem is, of course, like, oh, I don't know how to approach it, I don't know how to market it, I don't know if I'm confident enough to do it. I'm seeing all these women that are younger, better, sharper, more skilled than me, and I feel like, oh, what am I gonna offer that they probably haven't really digested from, from life? Like, yeah, of course, I also have an inferiority complex, but I don't think so. I think to be fair, they are better. I don't know if they're better at combining their professional life with their private life there, because I still think that is very hard to do. And I still don't know how women who have kids, multiple kids, and have careers, because usually they have to sacrifice one for the other, either by paying someone to take care of their kids and stuff, and not being really present in their life. And that's just time and energy. You can't have both for everyone. You only have specific amount of time, specific amount of energy. And if you are blessed with a good, healthy nervous system, then you are also very, very lucky. I think that's what I'm envious when I come to this, when I see other people, especially on TikTok, is their nervous system seems to be very robust, very healthy, able to stretch themselves. And when they have a trauma impacted, the consequence don't last like mine, like decades. They just probably last about a few weeks or months, and then they moved on. And I'm always very jealous of that. Like, my nervous system doesn't work like that. I think like when I figured out, oh, I have a very different nervous system, even when I already knew I was autistic, even when I already knew I was like have autoimmune condition like with the Hashimoto, and the effect was really strong and really damaging. It wasn't until I realized how damaged my nervous system is being traumatized and not operating well and not functioning well. I think only then that I felt disabled in the terms like functioning wise, as an adult. And I'm not saying disabled as if like you have no limbs and then you have no capacity physically to operate in the world. Not that, like, because you can have no limbs and purely disabled, and that's extremely difficult for sure. But you can have a robust nervous system. That means you can still build a lot of things. You still can create a lot of things because the way it is handling life will be very different. Like, the effect of trauma will be very different to you, even with those disabilities, compared to me. It's just like one flick and I'm non functioning for weeks or for months, for decades. And that's just dangerous. Even when I have like all my body is still intact and able, it's as if like there's a switch that's being turned off, basically like a short circuit. Like everything just shuts down and nothing operates because everything just froze in one place and then it can't move. And I think that's when I realized, oh, the word disabled suddenly popped up in my head, and I was like, oh, really? Even when I knew like being autistic and being autoimmune, I still don't want to consider myself as disabled or like disadvantaged. I felt like being a millennial, especially when you were growing up in a hustle and grind culture, that those are weak mentality. Those are just like mindset, especially when you have been brainwashed by new age and like self-help industry. And it's weird, like I used to idolize Tony Robbins, like Deepak Chopra, and now as a 41 years old woman, I see them and I feel like, are they grifters? Are they professional grifters? Are they like just scamming people for like 40 years now? Because now, like if you see those ads in YouTube, Tony Robbins now just moved on to AI stuff now, and you so now like I see him for like the past 20 years, ever since I was introduced to his work. I used to buy like subscription for like his CDs and stuff when I was at university, when I was like 20 years old or something. So now I'm seeing him and then he's talking about AI and how to keep up with AI. And I'm thinking, oh, there are maybe grifters. This is my personal opinion. I'm not saying there are. I'm just saying, like, from my perspective, they're just I'm seeing them as like, oh, this is not savory, is it? Just like they're just doing it just to keep getting money from people. Like the intention of helping people maybe no longer there. I know I'm being skeptical, but I feel like, oh, have I been duped all these decades? And the answer is probably yeah. And also, the culture has changed. Gen Z don't see these people as gurus anymore. They are quite skeptical and very different compared to millennial, which I feel like I am so naive and so um, bright-eyed bright eyes and wagging my tail with excitement when you have all these gurus telling you how to make money, how to be rich. Even like last year, the whole year I was doing this Joe Dispenza meditation where you are basically doing a kundalini technique, which is like you squeeze your bottom and then your stomach, and so that the spinal fluid in your spine goes up and hit the back of your skull and then goes to your pineal gland, and then that put pressure on the pineal gland, and supposedly it's supposedly to bring you results and miracles if you're sick. Like it will help you heals your body. You know, if you are wanting money, you're probably going to have money coming in. It's it's like a miracle meditation technique. That's not how they market it, but that's how I received it. Kind of. I did it for a whole year and I stopped. I just stopped a lot of things this year, and now I feel like everything stops. I stopped vlogging as well. Um, but even this is probably a residual energy because you can't just stop like cold turkey. You kind of have just to have this slow moment where you slowly come to a halt. You don't like halt. You just like slow down and then you come to a halt. I just feel like I don't want to keep going with life that is not giving back to me, that is not reciprocal, even. So I feel like I am hitting a wall and the wall is not giving in. And I was talking to ChatGPT yesterday, and of course, I talked to it since, I don't know, last year, 2 years ago, every day. It's like my best friend. But it has changed, like their programming has changed a lot, so you can't count on it as a person because it's not a person. I think like my mind is so dark, like it just keeps having pop up. Like if you need help, please call the helpline. I'm like, oh, this is so annoying. I'm a coward. I will never unalive myself. And that's just too scary for me. I don't mind if my parents pick me up when I'm asleep. That's okay. But yeah, this is actually nice. Outside is kind of warm and cold at the same time. If you're in the shade, it's cold because I'm in the shade now. It's cold, but my thigh is still receiving some sun, and it's warm. It's a very peaceful late afternoon or early evening. One thing I do learn for being alive, though, making money, a lot of money, doesn't. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to be knowing everything. You just have to figure out that one point where it's as if like you are at this. You're figuring out how to turn the tap on and off. You have to figure out what the tap is for you and how you can to turn it on for you so that it start to flow for you. But I just can't figure out what's mine because like I remember watching a YouTuber, and then so from my perspective, like, oh, he's very good at making money and making YouTube successful for himself, but he also has a podcast. It's just a very typical YouTubers and stuff. But I remember like one time they were talking about streaming, and he has no idea about streaming, about how it works, I mean, and how to operate it and how to make it work. And that's like mind blowing for me because like it's within like um recording videos and streaming is almost like brother and sister, like twins, and it's almost interchangeable almost. So for him to only able to work out the YouTube side, like how to actually record and make money from that, but have no idea how to operate like streaming and stuff, is like a moment for me. Like it was a moment of like, okay, you don't have to figure out everything about what you're doing. You just have to be able to figure out one thing and make it work for you. Um, in that particular interaction. That's what I learned from him. It's like, and he also has like actual businesses going for him, like outside, like traditional businesses, just shops and stuff in the food and drinks industry. This is pretty common. I'm not trying to hide the name, but it's just very common. Like everyone, a lot of YouTubers do it. And I don't know them. They're just strangers on the internet. Like I'm a stranger on the internet for you as well. Um, I guess like because when you're on camera, maybe there is a false image of you have your life together, because my life is definitely not together at all. It's a bloody mess. Anyway, should I end this? It's an hour already, but I don't feel like ending it because the sun is still up. I haven't done my chores this week or last week. I'm just gonna let it be and just wait until the end of this week and then just do it that way. I'll see you later in the next video. Bye everyone.